Your favorite compas have another jam-packed episode of the Four Compas Show. In this episode, we bring on our friend, our compa, our best pal, Eric D. Williams. Don't forget the D from Fox Sports. I was going to go Fox Deportes. No, but from Fox Sports. Definitely, we love him joining us as the fourth compa. We know that you guys love him. We love him. So definitely, we'll be talking a little bit about, there's a topic right now going out, because obviously the NFL QB show, the quarterback on Netflix just got announced who the quarterbacks are going to be. And so we got to thinking, what if they did it for defenders, for defensive players? Who would we want to see on there? So we'll get into all that. And then obviously, in honor of a recent story written by Mr. Williams, we will give our 4 new teams making the playoffs in 2025. And time permitting, we'll have Burial of the Weekend, una más. But yeah. Jam-packed episode. Strap in. Get ready to go. All right, let's go with the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So where's Compas?
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
That seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez, ready to go for this jam-packed show. I'm not even going to get into my usual spill. Let's just get right into it. Let's bring the fellas on. And you know what? We're going to go in reverse order because I know a certain person gets excited when another certain person's music gets hit. So first, we're going to bring in Vic, and we're going to have our guest at the very end so that everybody can rock out to his song.
Hello,
Vic, how are you doing?
That's awesome. I'm doing good. Just got back. Sorry, the reason we're late is because of me. I just got back. I went to go see Mickey 17. Good movie, but glad to be here. And yeah, let's get to it.
Did you watch the wrestling movie?
No, I haven't gotten
Everybody
to that
keeps on
one. I
raving
know which
about
one
it.
you're talking about the woman, the first woman.
Yeah, the one that was an arrow.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I have
haven't
not
watched that.
seen it. Yeah, I need to get to it.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. All right, let us get in the guy that you guys all love. The reason why this show continues and keeps on going on.
There we are. How in the hell are we all doing? Day 10 plus of no Coke Zero. Hating life,
Ooh.
but here we are.
You're surviving then, huh?
I got to do it for my Lord and Savior. Got to do it. Lent,
All
they
right,
were
Dan.
telling me, is like 47 days, so 77 days out of the year, no Coke Zero.
And people say stuff about you.
Exactly. I don't have a problem.
I know.
And now for the main event. I don't know his stat line. I was going to say.
Step up, bring it.
Yeah, bring him on. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Let's go. Eric
What's
D.
up?
Williams.
You look more graceful and intimidating than when that fraud Brian Kelly tried to do that. That was excellent. That was amazing.
Eric, how have you been?
Man, I've been good, man. Just, loving life, getting in to the free agency stuff still, and then got a month left before the draft. So
It feels like there's still a lot of free agents left. Like there's still a lot out there.
Aaron Rodgers, for some reason, I don't know.
The doctor.
We'll get into
Doesn't want
all
to
that.
sign.
By the way, for the folks who are wondering what happened with What's Up Bolts on Thursday, you can blame my guy to my right and the one below me. We went out for pizza and it turned into a 5 to 6 hour hangout.
We had some
Which was
beers,
awesome.
dude. Yeah.
We had a great time. It was amazing. So
It was a
yeah,
long
that'll
month.
be we'll
Yeah,
be doing
exactly.
we'll be doing it tomorrow. So the reason why that happened, obviously we enjoy each other's company, but Dan and Eric had made a bet before the season that Russell Wilson would not start.
Yeah.
At one point it would be Justin Fields starting. Well, Dan won that right away, and Eric paid out. So then Eric's like, let me try and get one back. Okay, what do you want? The Rams. I think the Rams were like 2-5 at that point, and or 3-5, and he's like, "How about the Rams make the playoffs?" Dan's like, "That is not happening." Dan forgot that Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, and
I
Brock
was
Purdy
so
were
pissed.
the other quarterbacks. So the Rams end up making it. Dan paid off the bet, so now we're at 0-0. A new bet was made, but we won't talk about that bet until later. It was a good bet. It's a fun bet, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's
about
right.
it.
You got to remind me what it is. I already forgot, but yeah,
A certain
That's
team
right.
that Eric said would be a playoff team that they're gonna make the playoffs.
Oh, I think I know who.
Okay.
With the nail painter, I think, right or no?
No.
Okay.
No. Your favorite ESPN reporter loves or analyst loves that team.
Oh, go
Outside
Hawks!
the former quarterback.
Go Hawks! Was
The
it about
former
Seattle?
quarterback. All right, the former quarterback. Let's get into
Oh,
it now.
I remember now.
Oh, here we go. Breaking news. The Giants and Super Bowl winning quarterback Russell Wilson have agreed to a 1-year, $21 million deal.
What a joke!
Wow.
Let's
What?
go.
And that is according to Adam Schefter. It just went down right now.
Let
It
cook.
is including
Oh, God.
$10.5 million guaranteed.
Okay. Yeah.
That man couldn't cook a cup of noodles, Eric. He's done. He's just
I have
going
a-
out there.
I have
The
a feeling
bullshit.
Daniel and I have a new bet coming.
Oh, if it's against him, I'll take that
Okay.
one any day of the
Can
week.
I say it now? For Hard Knocks, I want the Giants. Famous Jameis and Russell Weirdo. I want them both.
They're going to kill each other coming out of training camp. Who's going
We
to
might
be
as
more
well get-
positive?
We might as well get into it since this was one of the questions we had on that we
Eric.
were going to talk about. So I guess we should just
So-
talk about that.
Let's talk about it from this angle, from the Russell Wilson angle. Eric, what does this do for the Giants?
I think it gives them a competent quarterback that can come in and run Brian Dable's scheme. Russ is going to take care of the football.
Okay.
Is he going to make explosive plays? I mean, that's been kind of the criticism of him. When you watched him play with the Steelers, is he willing to kind of take the risks in order to create those explosive plays and kind of put himself out there a little bit? Obviously, the movement skills are diminished. It's different. But, remember, this is a place where Russell wanted to go initially. It was one of his teams that he was interested in. He took the trip to New York before he went to Pittsburgh. So it was always a possibility that he's going to wind up there. Certainly his wife is liking the fact that he's in New York. That's going to help her career. It's going to be go Giants instead of, go Steelers. But I think it makes sense. And I think it really speaks to the desperation of that regime.
Yep.
They have to have answers. They can't go with what they went with the last couple of years with, DeVito and Daniel Jones. And you can say a lot of things about Russell in terms of, who he is as a person, his character, and all the cringy things that he does on social media at times. He still knows how to lead an offense. The Steelers made the postseason and went on a run. Obviously, they struggled at the end. But,
To be fair, Justin Fields won 4 of those games.
Okay, but when Russell got in there, they went on a little run. And then obviously, struggled at the end.
They went
of the
on a
year.
lose.
That was more of a crawl.
But I mean, I do feel like he can go in there and play competent football. Will it be enough to get past the Eagles and the Commanders in that division? I doubt it.
Oh, that's gonna be glorious.
And I think it also makes them interesting having Russell as a quarterback.
I'm wondering how
Dan,
long it's gonna take Malik. Before
That's what
he
I was
starts
going to
getting
ask you.
pissed.
Dan, what do you think Malik, what's going through his mind right now?
Dude, there's no way he's like, oh wow, we got I'm sorry, but the way they try and hype this man up as a quarterback winning or a Super Bowl winning quarterback and all this stuff, to me, it is true, but at the same time, that's like masquerading and moving the parts. You know what I mean? That's like that's like doing some illusions. That's what's it called? Parlor trick type stuff. This guy hasn't looked good since he left Seattle. Denver was a shit show. I mean, part of it, Nathaniel Hackett and everything else. Shit show. Hey, Athir, shout out.
Appreciate it, Athir.
Then when he got to the Steelers, it was a shit show. The guy forgot how to play football. He's running and slides with the game on the line, and that sealed whose fate right there? I forgot, or it made it interesting between them and the Bengals. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but he literally lost the game because of time management. I don't think he's thrown as well. So what they better hope they put some god tier offensive linemen out there to get a run game going, because I don't know if it's going to be enough. Like I wouldn't doubt that the Giants, have another 3-game win year or something like that. But I don't know if this adds a lot to it. Hell, I might throw famous Jameis. He at least can sling it. He'll turn the ball over like a mother, but the guy can at least sling it whenever he decides to wake up that day or let God into his heart.
You'd rather play Jameis than Russell?
You're telling me there's a difference right now?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
No,
one person doesn't just take the ball and hand it to the other team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with Jameis, okay, if someone could teach him to throw to the right color jersey,
come on,
he
now
would be a solid
playing
slinger
for almost a decade.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what are you
still
gonna get out of
learned.
Russ? What are you gonna get out of Russ? You're not gonna get anything out of Russ. It's not gonna be what people think it is. I'm telling you, he's not gonna have.
So
a good year.
what do we think? What do we think the Giants are gonna do with 3?
Yeah,
Travis,
why
it seems like
I'd still get a quarterback. I'd still get a quarterback
I think they're
if you
taking
like.
Sanders.
If
you're
you
gonna
like
take
someone, yeah.
I think this leads me to believe that they're taking Sanders and that Russell is just there to kind of mind the ship until Sanders is ready to play.
But you're gonna have Tommy DeVito.
I think you still.
Wow.
You can cut DeVito. I don't know how much guaranteed money they gave. I mean, that's you can cut Jameis. I mean, that's not a lot of money in the league. So I just think those guys are placeholders until they actually get the guy they want, whether it's Sanders or Jackson Dart or somebody else in the draft. But they need a real guy that they can develop.
Yeah,
and
they
say
need
this is our future. Russ is just a guy that is an expensive piece, but it's funny because when Russell earned the job with the Seahawks, they signed Matt Flynn to a 3-year, $21 million deal. Essentially, he's the Matt Flynn for the Giants in this situation, and they're probably going to draft his replacement, and that replacement could be at the start of the season. He could be a $20 million guy holding the clipboard, or he could get 6 to 8 games and eventually be replaced. But I know it's a lot of money. 20 millions is nothing to shake a stick at, but it doesn't guarantee that he's going to be the guy for the full season.
So Darius Slayton just tweeted out, "Giants country, let's ride."
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It was nice of Russ to cut and paste that into a text so he could tweet that out.
Oh my God, that's not going to end well.
If you're Dable and the GM, like, you're on thin ice already. But and obviously, out of all of us, you've had the most time with Russ, Eric. Are you okay if you're the Giants with Russ developing and trying to help Shedeur Sanders?
Would you rather it be Russ or Aaron Rodgers?
Give me the doctor. The doctor play at a high level for a lot longer.
Jordan Love goes out of his way to hype up Aaron and to say, "Hey, Aaron helped me a lot." So see, that's kind of a toss-up right there, because at least you know what you're going to get out of Aaron. I mean, you know what you're going to get. With Russ, you just don't know, because you don't know how he is behind closed doors. And then you have all the Seahawks players, the Legion of Boom, all these guys coming out saying that he was fake and that he isn't who he really says he is and all that stuff.
I would say the opposite. I mean, you absolutely know what you're going to get with Russ. Russ has been the same guy since he's been in the league. You might not like it. I mean, he's not really genuine, but I mean, he is who he is. And so the thing with Russ is you kind of have to separate who he is away from the facility and all the stuff he does, like in his personal time. Like if he comes in and plays like he's capable of playing when he was, with Seattle, then you're good. Or played what, the first couple starts he made with the Steelers. I think you take that. It's just, when he refuses to throw the football and pats it in the pocket, or he just doesn't doesn't try to make those explosive plays, is, when he has issues.
How do you think he'd do in this Brian Daboll offense?
I think it's a good fit. I think Brian will tailor the offense to fit Russ's skill set. I think he's shown that he can do that. The year that Daniel Jones had when they went to the playoffs, and we thought Daniel Jones actually was a serviceable NFL quarterback. If you can get Russ to play at that level, then maybe you have a chance to win 8, 9, 10 games. But again, I think the possibility of that happening, is low.
They're going to go Ashton Genty.
I think they're taking a quarterback. I don't know if it's at
You'd
3,
have to.
but I think they're taking a quarterback early.
I think like even taking a Shador, who knows how that's gonna work. Russ is gonna try and come up to tell him something. He's gonna say, "Shut the hell up! I'm getting coached by Brady. What the hell do you know?"
I know they just did Hard Knocks, but imagine if they.
That's what I want.
If it is Shador,
that'd be good.
But my other question, Athir, we're gonna get to your
we will.
response
Athir,
right now. We're just we're getting done with this Russell Wilson stuff. That news just broke. My thing is also, I would love to see him on Hard Knocks, but the thing is too, everybody keeps on saying that Cleveland's in love with Shador Sanders, so that's where it makes me think that because Cleveland's gonna do one of two things.
They're gonna do something stupid. We can rest assured.
They're either going to say, okay, we want Shador. Let's get the quarterback of the future. Let's do it. Or they could say, hey, we have Myles Garrett now signed up for the next 6 years. We could draft Abdul Carter and go pass rush on both sides and just completely wreck the opposing quarterback and kind of go that route. Or they can, like I said, go Shador Sanders. But most of the drafts that I've seen, it's like the Giants or the Browns take Shador. The other one takes Abdul Carter, and then the Patriots get Travis Hunter. So it's pretty interesting to see the way they're all doing this, Eric. And I just don't know what I don't know what you think is the better option at 2 for Cleveland.
No, I think Shador makes sense for Cleveland. Stefanski knows Shermer pretty well. They coached together, I believe, in Minnesota. Shador fits what he wants his quarterback to do in that offense. You look at the quarterbacks that have had success for him in his past. You're talking about Kirk Cousins. You're talking about Joe Flacco. You're talking about Jameis when he doesn't throw the ball to the other team. I mean, you're talking about pocket passers versus dual threat guys. And so that's who Shador is. Shador is a pocket passer. He's not a guy that's going to, run 10 times for 60 yards and get outside the pocket. He processes quickly. He's accurate with the football. The only question I have with Shador in Cleveland is the Cleveland weather in December and January, and he doesn't have the strongest arm. How would he perform in those circumstances? But you look at Bernie Kosar, if you want to go all the way back then, Bernie wasn't a strong arm thrower, and he was able to have success in Cleveland. So, I think Shador at 2 is certainly a possibility. I don't think Shador is going to fall. I know that, that people have been predicting that. That doesn't make any sense to me when you're talking about how desperate these teams are up top to get a quarterback. And Shador has that legacy thing going for him too. Obviously, Prime didn't play quarterback in the league, but I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player. So certainly Shador has been trained in terms of the mental makeup of the game to handle whatever he's going to deal with in the NFL.
And you tell Deshaun to stay away if you draft Shador at 2, don't you?
I don't know how the organization wants to handle that. I mean, obviously he's still, rehabbing from an injury. Yeah, maybe he rehabs away from the facility.
Can you imagine that? That's 2 different teams. He got paid an insane amount of money just to privately train on his own. Like, my God. That's just crazy to me to fathom that right now.
His agent is in the negotiation Hall of Fame, right?
I know, 100%. Between them and those lawyers, my God.
He's Molungeta, right?
I believe that's correct.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. They should put him in there for that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
He's agent. He's DB agent. That's what Derwin told me. He's like, he's DB agent. I'm like, what? He's like, defensive backs, he'll get you paid.
He's a dog. The most important thing is too, does Daddy want him to go to Cleveland? He might say that orange helmet's not going to look good on you, son. We need you to keep going. Let's see what else. Let's see what else is out there.
I think Prime would be okay with him going to Cleveland.
What Prime went number 4, right? When he got drafted, because isn't that his goal to be higher drafted than
Prime?
His dad?
Oh, that'd be funny.
I don't remember if Prime went 4 or not.
I'll Google it.
I remember there was, I don't know if it was a myth, but I remember he went in for a meeting and then or he just ran 140 and he was like, "That's it. That's all I'm gonna do."
Yeah.
And that's all he ended up doing, and he got selected by the
And then I
Falcons.
think he didn't take some visits because he thought the teams that wanted him to visit were too low.
Yeah, he's like,
Basically,
"I'm not gonna
you-
last that long."
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have a chance to draft me, so I'm not coming.
Remember how pissed Tom Telesco got when Baker?
Well, I think he
Mayfield-
was number 5. I think he was number 5.
yeah.
Remember how pissed Tom got that Baker told the Chargers, "Yeah, thanks, but you guys are selecting way too low for me to go to you
Yeah.
guys."
I remember that. He wasn't happy.
Yeah,
he mentioned that a couple times.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I wanted to ask Eric. Eric, how many? So you're saying that a lot of teams are starting to get desperate for quarterbacks. How many? And I don't know if I don't know if you're gonna be on before the draft again. So I wanted to make sure I asked this. How many quarterbacks do you think go in the first round then? Because I'm starting to hear at least 5, which I was kind of surprised because for the most part we've been hearing that it would be 2 at the most, and now I'm starting to even hear 5.
I think 4. I think Jackson Dart is starting to get a lot of love. And then when I was at the combine, everybody was talking about the kid from Louisville.
Yeah.
Was it Shuck?
Yeah.
He was Herbert's backup
at Oregon, right?
Yeah.
Had some injury issues. I
Yeah.
think he's probably like almost 30 years old or whatever. I think he's 26.
He's gonna turn 26.
27 or
no, he's
something,
gonna
I
turn
thought.
26 when the season starts.
Right.
Is that not
26 years
crazy?
old.
You're about to see a lot more 30-year-old rookies because
With
of
the NIL stuff.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no doubt.
100%.
But I mean, he looks the part. He can move. He's got probably the strongest arm out of everybody coming out. Has played in big time, moments in terms of teams. But it just seems like he's getting pushed up. I mean, we didn't hear about this guy until, now. But I mean, everybody's talking about him as a potential first round pick. So I think he's going to be there. I don't think Milroe is going to go in the first round. I'd be surprised. I just don't think. I think with the Anthony Richardson stuff hurts Milroe. With him struggling so much with the cold. So I still view him as a day 2 pick.
Gilbert's guy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he was a big
Richardson.
Anthony Richardson fan. So, of course, when he started tapping out, and then the ultimate rivalry between McAfee and his boys and him broke out, we were just roasting Gilberto the whole time. It was ridiculous.
Gilbert likes running backs that play quarterback.
Exactly. I don't understand it either. You see, thank you. I try and tell him all the time. I'm not an asshole. I'm just telling you the truth. Like, it's just me. Whatever.
He got mad at Dan because
you can't complete over 50% of your passes.
You can't. Then you tap out because there's a quarterback designed run or whatever it was. Like, you're not a wide receiver,
Dan
dude.
suggested that he should switch over to tight end, and Gilberto just got.
Oh yeah,
Gilberto wasn't mad.
You should see our Lamar Jackson talks we have.
I wouldn't go there, but it definitely wasn't a great look last year in terms of his production, and
that was bad.
The tap out thing. There was a different way he could handle that.
Yeah, well, that's what. Yeah, you just run a run play. That way, he gets a quick breather. You know what I mean? Like,
you run a run play, you call timeout. Like, there's
something.
A lot of different ways that you can get a blow. You don't tap out.
Yeah, no. And they just signed a quarterback. Was it Daniel Jones?
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
Yeah. So they're gonna see what
1 year,
14
$14 million. So Daniel Jones probably gonna be the starter.
You think he's gonna be on the hot seat pretty soon or no?
Which
Steichen? Steichen?
Oh, I think it's Ballard and Steichen.
Yeah, it has to be. Well, yeah, I always bring up the coach, but yeah, the general manager, obviously.
How many guys is Ballard going to get to hire? Like,
yeah.
Well, and Ballard is now fighting with McAfee and stuff, and they keep on going at it and stuff. So
yeah, it's getting ugly.
I asked one of his. Oh, no, this is out there. They took away theirs. Like they're not buying a season.
Oh, they didn't renew it. No,
they didn't renew their box for next year.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, so McAfee said on the show, if you guys are gonna have this failure out there, why would I want to go watch it? And I'm like, damn.
It's gotten to that point, huh?
Oh, a bunch of reporters got a bunch of clout because they like the last game at Lucas Oil of the season, they took a picture and McAfee's box was completely empty.
Yeah. No, and worst part is one of their guys who was a captain went up and hand shook a ghost that they weren't there or whatever. And he literally said on the show, see, we still have jokers out here, doing this type of shit, like we're not going to do anything in the
Yeah,
league.
there was like 5 or 6 players that McAfee called out. He called out Richardson. He called out Jonathan Taylor.
He wanted all these guys traded, like gone. And I'm like, oh shit.
And then the team had to come out and announce we're bringing back Chris Ballard. He's like, I guess we just want to keep on.
Yeah,
we just want to keep on being mediocre. And I was
that's
like,
the first time I think he even said, and I'm sorry to go on this pop culture rabbit hole, but that was the first time he'd ever said he'd called for someone's job on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was very upset. Obviously, the players, I'm sure, were talking shit back to him and stuff like that, so he wasn't happy about that. So,
Dan, Athir did put on here. He thinks Chef Ortiz will surprise everybody by moving up from 22 to 17 to get the Georgia edge rusher. I think it's Michael Williams.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Jalen. I think it's Jalen Walker. Hold on, go ahead.
I thought Jalen Walker was going to go a lot higher.
Yeah, I think it's Mikael Williams.
Yeah, Mikael Williams. And then he's going to jump up from 55 to 47 to get Mason Taylor. That is the son of Jason Taylor, who plays tight end at LSU.
The son of Jason Taylor?
Yeah. Related
I know who that is now. I know who that is now.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's right. I knew that name sounded familiar. Okay. Yeah.
Dan or Eric, Dan has a couple questions for you.
Yeah, just real quick. Can you reassure me, because I've been having a stroke all freaking free agency period, wondering about what the hell my team was going to do. Can you reassure us or me and everybody else about, and just talk to us about what do you think about the Becton signing and the James signing?
Up. Hold on. Breaking news. Free agent wide receiver Stephon Diggs reaches a 3-year, $69 million, including 26 guaranteed by the New England Patriots.
That is so dumb. Coming off an ACL.
Robert
D knows. Robert D knows. But that doesn't mean you spend it. Like that to me makes no sense. Like, I don't understand where these teams are negotiating. Like, a guy coming off a torn ACL is going to tell me a 3-year 69, whatever the hell.
Yeah,
and I mean, I forgot how much guarantee. Like,
the number's the number. We don't know what the fully.
Yeah, that's the agents putting that out.
Guaranteed $26 million.
Yeah, that's the number.
26 is way too much.
But we don't know how much is injury guarantee.
Yeah.
So what's the full guarantee that he's getting in that contract? I'd be interested to see that.
I would have thought.
But I think in terms of, you're right, it's a lot of money, but it ain't my money. And then if you're the Patriots, I mean, it's been awful. Like, you have to like show your fan base we're actually trying to win. Yeah. So you did that with Vrabel, and then now you sign these guys. I think it energizes your fan base, and now you're hopeful that these people that maybe have been staying home because it's, New England's cold. It's not, I've been there, and freezing my what off.
Yeah.
So you have to give them reason to come to the stadium. And Stephon Diggs is still a name. He is coming off the injury. We don't know. But also ACL injuries, guys have been able to come back from those and not only get back to where they were, but be even better.
But you don't call him a wide receiver 1. Like, they're calling him a wide receiver 1. You think he's a 1?
Have you seen the depth chart?
Oh, well, that's
who else is going to be the wide receiver?
Okay,
is Hunter Henry the wide receiver 1? I mean,
when they draft Travis Hunter, I want them on Hard Knocks.
Oh,
I'll take them. Stephon, what? Stephon Diggs going up against Travis Hunter 1-on-1 during,
and then turning around and taking his job as wide receiver 1.
We kind of already talked about this, but I think Travis Hunter is going to be a receiver.
Yeah.
Not a DB. Yeah. Receivers are making the most money.
Yep.
And I think he could make a more of an impact as a receiver early on in his career than a DB. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but I mean, he's so special in terms of catching the football and making plays after the catch. And if you're Drake May, you're trying to give him as many guys as you can that can make the game easier for him.
And then you have Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis already at corner. So unless you need Travis in a pinch here and there, because I truly do not believe they're going to let him do the going both ways. That's just not going to happen. I think it's going to be more of you're going to
Maybe
go
for
offense.
maybe for a package like a
Yeah,
dime.
yeah.
Make
But I
him a
think
sub
more-
package player.
Yeah,
I could see it.
that's
I think I agree with Eric. He's going to be more of an offensive player. Now, my biggest question is, I am very interested to see when Shador and Travis sit down and negotiate contracts, what that's going to look like with a team. Everybody usually falls in line and they say, okay, they look at if they were drafted 6, they look at 5, they look at 7, and then they go in between that.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
all
know how
strategy.
I'm wondering what these two are going to try and negotiate. I don't know who their agent is right now, but
it's not already fixed.
No.
I mean, you saw what Joey Bosa did when he came out. Basically,
well, he
you're
wanted fully
negotiating.
guaranteed money.
Well, you're trying to get as much as your money as early as possible instead of having it spread
to
out
wait.
over the life
okay.
of the.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what they were negotiating, and if Sanders or Hunter took that approach, that's what they would be doing as well, I believe.
I was gonna ask you, Eric. I thought it was kind of weird in terms of, and I don't know if the NFL is the one that's doing it on purpose, but they announced him as a cornerback. Do you think that was on purpose? And then going forward, is he the one that, or the agent says that, hey, he's a wide receiver in order to make sure that he gets the most money that he can? Because I mean, after all, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the most money out of your contract.
If I'm the agent, I'm saying you're a receiver because those guys are making the most money. I think if you're the league, it's how the majority of the teams are evaluating you. So that was my understanding of why they put him as a DB, because most of the teams were evaluating him as a cornerback. But if I'm the agent, I'm like, yo, we're playing receiver. Similar to like Lamar, like some teams wanted him to run routes. I'm like, yo, I'm not running routes. I'm a quarterback. So, and obviously quarterbacks make a lot more money than receivers.
So Shiloh and Shador will be representing themselves.
Oh, wow. Genius.
During contract negotiations.
Genius. Wait. You said Shiloh also?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be funny. That's going to be easy right there. That's going to be easy. I'm sure Shiloh also is really setting the bar high and wanting to go higher than his dad.
Does Shiloh have draftable grades?
I think so.
I thought people were saying he was going to be undrafted. That's what I thought, if not late.
Well, no,
I'm
they think that Dion. They think that Dion's going to be able to get a 7th round.
Somebody take him at 7. Maybe comp
yeah, like if like whatever team got Shador, they'll just be like, hey, can you take Shiloh too?
Daddy will put in a phone call, Shiloh. Don't you worry.
I real quick, hold on, let me. Yeah, that's kind of so. Oh, Travis Hunter, I just saw. Travis is with Little Wayne Sports Agency, Young Money, APAA Sports.
Okay.
Let's go. The way you said, "Oh no," I didn't even know he has his own agency.
Or she left.
I thought she was Clutch.
Oh, she moved to Clutch. She used to be with Little Wayne, I think, and then she moved to Clutch. Why do you say, "Oh no"? Vic?
Oh, because there's been, I think, outside of the only agent that I can remember where that I think it was, why am I forgetting his name, that he did really well.
Hold on. Eric had something. What's up, Eric?
Yeah.
I think you're talking about Master P and No Limit.
Yes,
right?
Master P. Thank you. Yeah, he did really well for his athletes. But outside of that, Eric, I can't think of another one that did really well, Eric.
Actually, he was the one that screwed up the Ricky Williams contract.
Oh, nice. Oh my god.
The incentive laden deal where Ricky got that was No Limit. I was gonna say, getting back to the Chargers and Daniel's question.
Oh yeah.
I like what they've done so far. I mean, I don't think they've went out and got crazy with a bunch of splashy moves. I think they kind of stayed true to themselves and bringing in guys that can come in. I like the Najee Harris pickup. I like Becton. I think that makes sense. I like bringing back Jefferson. I really love bringing back Mike Williams. And giving somebody that Justin knows really well. They know he fits in terms of, that's right, in terms of the locker room. They know what kind of guy he is. And with Mike, it's just always about just staying healthy.
Yeah.
He's going to produce if he's out there week in and week out. So I just thought that was like a slam dunk signing. And it wasn't a whole lot of money. It was
at all.
I think it was 5-6 million, maybe at
Yeah.
the most.
No, for Mike.
7? Yeah, for Mike.
For Mike.
3?
Yeah, that's what I thought. 3 years,
3.5.
1 year.
No.
That's great.
1 year, 3. Yeah, 1 year, 3.5. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's
Really good.
Yeah, you take that.
You think I'm crazy for saying they should go get Keenan too, or no?
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't dismiss it. I think with Keenan, I'd wait.
Yeah, not right now.
After the
I'd wait to see what you're gonna look like.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't look great, then you could sign him,
I'm just worried he'd
before the
want too
season
much
starts.
money. And I know it's not my money and all this other stuff, but
Right.
I just don't want to sign him to some insane thing. Like, let's be team friendly. Let's have a good time. Let's strap it up one more time. Let's go see if we can go get something going. Especially too, because he could play himself into another contract. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's
he could.
obviously up there.
Stephon just got 3 years,
Oh,
39.
well, yeah. Well, that's what worries me even more now that guy got that type of contract. Like, who knows what Keenan's asking for?
I think with Keenan, because he has such a big personality, and I would be concerned with how that would affect Ladd and Q and how, in terms of how they're going to fit in that room. With Mike's so low key, like
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't even know he's there. And so I think that's when you talk about adding somebody like Mike, it doesn't have the kind of impact that Keenan would have, because Keenan was your number one guy. So now he's going to come in, he's going to be your number 3 guy. Like, I don't know if that would really work in terms of him fitting in with the rest of those personalities. They kind of went through it a little bit with Antonio. They brought Antonio back, but now he's not the number 1. Kind of Hunter's the number 1. So, I mean, you're talking about a guy that's, it's in the Hall of Fame.
But I mean, he was super productive, though.
He was
like, that's
number-
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, all I need, Eric, is guys to catch the damn football when they're open. No more bopping it up to the defense and doing all this other crap. That's right. Check the box. Can you catch the goddamn ball when you're open? Yes or no?
You don't want to see the volleyball taps.
I don't. I've had too much of that. I can't do it anymore. Which, like, because to me, I think it makes sense, again, for the right price, because what Keenan and Mike, and obviously Ladd, like, you don't need them to play every snap. You know what I mean? Like, if you have that depth, you can space it out, put them in right situations, right areas. You know what I mean? So, especially if you're tight, if you're only other tight end who can catch is Will Dissly, like, get the tight ends off the field then. In passing situations. Let's put our best
Conklin's a better cat. What'd you think of
obviously,
Conklin?
I meant behind him.
He's a good player. I like him.
Well, I just wonder, because Eric, if I'm being truthful, I think they're going to go draft with another receiver. I think that's kind of their better, like, try and get younger at the position. You pay them less money.
Yeah.
You get to have control of them for 4 years, maybe 5. I don't see them going in the first round with a receiver unless, like, something really fell into their lap, like the kid out of Arizona or even Matthew Golden. Either one of them fall in their lap.
Yeah, I was going to say the guy out of Texas. I mean, that guy can fly.
No, if that kid falls into their lap, then great. But there could be a scenario where Warren, Loveland, Golden, the kid out of Arizona, they could all be gone at that point, and the best pick available might be pass rusher, and then you have somebody out. Because this is what I was telling Dan and the viewers of What's Up Bolts. I don't know if I'm okay going in this season with Tuli Pelotu as my guy opposite Khalil Mack. Maybe he takes a huge jump this year, but I thought inconsistencies kind of took a toll with him last year. I feel like the first part of the season, he really wasn't, like, he didn't have any sacks registered. Middle of the season, he had 8.5 throughout 8 games. That's great. But then in the back half of the season, he had 0. So that's kind of, you can't be playing that. You kind of need consistency, especially with a 34-year-old Khalil Mack, especially with a 32-year-old Bud Dupree. I feel like maybe another young gun. I think they need to come out with 2 pass rushers in this draft. In certain rounds, I think they need a tight end for sure. Receiver, obviously a need. Guard. There's still a lot to be done, but I do think that they're going in the right direction, especially after the freak out that everybody had the first week where, hey, we didn't get DK. Hey, we didn't get who was the other one? Devontae, and then Puna Ford signed elsewhere. Well, you see some of the guys that they're signing, and I spoke to our buddy in Miami, and I asked him about the defensive tackle that they just signed, Hand. And I was like, what do you think about Hand? He's like, he's a lot more talented than Tier Tart is. And with the correct coaching, he could become a big time player for them. And I'm like, oh, wow. So that was so I mean, and he was the one that told me, hey, with good coaching, Tier Tart is going to be a really good player. And he was last year for the Chargers. So, so yeah, I just think they're doing it with the way they're doing it. They're not going to spend big money. They're kind of getting bargain guys, and they're going to try and build through the draft the same way that they've been doing it in Baltimore for years.
Yeah, I think you kind of answered your own question there at the end, Fernando. Ortiz is from Baltimore, was there a long time. They're a draft and develop franchise. The Chargers are taking a similar approach. And to me, where they sit at in the draft, we know traditionally there's only 12 to 14 blue chip first rounders usually. And so if you're sitting there at 20 or wherever they're sitting, I mean, obviously you'd like to get down if you can and get out of the first and get more picks. But I think they're going to take the best player available, whoever they deem that player is, and ride with it. Maybe it is a pass rusher, maybe it's a receiver, maybe it's an offensive lineman. But I think they're just going to go with the best dude.
Yeah,
I just wonder if like offensive line, I kind of feel like, okay, with the moves that they made, they kind of put I think they're going to do it in the first 3 rounds, but I feel like in the first 2, they have to go. I think defensive tackle, they still need another one. I think receiver or tight end, and then obviously for some reason, edge also, but running back, I still feel like they're going to try and make a move for one of these running backs, because I know they think that the way the Chargers are, or the way Jim Harbaugh is, they want a 2-headed monster at running back. So if they have a big thumper like Najee, it looks like they could go for a speed guy, one of the kids out of Ohio State or something like that, and kind of do the speed. Because in my opinion, I just don't see J.K. Dobbins coming back. And then I heard kind of a price being thrown out there for him, and I was kind of like, ooh, that's a little rich. So I could see them just drafting another guy. They still have Kimani Vidal on the roster. So I'm pretty sure they're and again, they only 4 players really came out of last year's draft where you were like, okay, those are solid starters. Now it's, can the other guys that they drafted last year, can they take a step forward? Junior Colson is a guy that I know they really want to step up. He was hurt during training camp. You could tell he was just really rusty during the regular season. So that's another guy that I'm sure they're going to count on. But they have some players on there. It's like we said, Eric, the draft is going to be key for these guys moving forward. And that's why, like Dan said, this year could be a divisional round or even a championship round. But with the holes on this team, it's gonna take a couple of years. It's not going to be. I know Jim Harbaugh and the staff kind of made it look instant, because they went from being 5-12 and jumping up to 11-6, and you're like, oh crap! And then it kind of like you're a locomotive, and then boom, you hit against the wall, and you're like, oh crap! You get blown out by Houston and have a really bad game. But it's about keep building on it.
Yeah, keep getting the roster as talented as you can. I think with this year's draft, I mean, the depth is at D tackle and running back. So if you're talking about
that kid, I like that kid out of Alabama. Like we all know Kenneth Grant. Jim knows him. I saw, what's funny, Eric? I saw in some mock drafts right before this all started, Will Johnson going top 10 or whatever. Now I'm seeing him drop to a couple of people have him drop into the Chargers, and I'm kind of like, that's a corner that I don't think Jim would hesitate to go up and grab. 6'2", lengthy. He would do well with Tarheeb, Cam. I think you might have the most physical cornerback room if you have Cam Hart and you have Will Johnson. Obviously, he got injured last year, but I thought that was pretty interesting to see him fall.
Yeah, I don't think he gets by the Niners at 11.
Oh, that'd be interesting. They'll just bring back Jason Barrett.
Oh yeah, Niners need a lot of
Hey,
help.
you leave my boy Verrett alone. Man.
I love Verrett. I love her. You know, it's funny. Corey Legit told me last time I saw him that he had dinner with Verrett and he told him about me. He's like, I remember that dude. He's like, he always had a smile on his face, no matter if he was getting shitted on by somebody or whatever it was. He always had a smile on his face. I was like, tell him I appreciate that.
He's one of those guys you just wish he could have figured out a way to stay healthy because
so
you know
dude.
the talent was there. I mean,
yeah,
dude,
the half the season he played for the Chargers.
The two games that I remember, Alshon Jeffrey and Antonio Brown, both of them couldn't do anything.
AB up.
Yeah,
AB was pissed after the game. I remember that. But Eric, Vic, can you take this stuff off? Eric, we want to show you a video and get your thoughts on it. It's one of Hilberto's favorite players. Came out
Ramzano.
Talked about how much longer he wants to play.
I want to retire at the age of 30. I'm 23 right now. I'm going into year 3, so like
10 years.
It wouldn't even be 10 years. It'd be like maybe 7 or 8. But I'm like AD. I think of Aaron Donald, like to go out at the top. I think it would be super cool. But then also be like, yo, like I want to have a big family. Just like I want to have at least a starting 5. I'm like I came from a big family. So
he
like,
said he want 5.
I need 5 boys. I need 5 boys for sure.
That's cool.
But also be like, man, I want to be able to like be a part of their lives and like be as active as I can with them. So I'm like, I don't want to be. The injuries are something that you can't control part of the game. So like, oh man, like you never know. Hopefully like the rest of your career go healthy, but like, man, you have shoulder surgery, you have knee surgery, you have ankle, and be like, yo, like by the time my kids could be 18, I'm like, I could be barely walking.
I think we're starting to go into a new generation, Eric, where you don't
This is your generation. What are we talking about?
No, but like,
hey, look, I think he's being honest. I mean, he saw what just happened with Cooper Kupp. Cooper's like what, 31, and they're telling him, hey, like you go play somewhere else. Same thing happened with Robert Woods. He got to be about that same age, where it's like, you know, and yeah, I think he's just and the way that he plays, like this guy doesn't shy away from contact at all. I mean, like he's getting smacked. He's not a guy that catches the ball and runs out of bounds. So I think he's just being real. Like with the way that I play, I might not be able to play when I'm 30 because I'm going to have all these different issues. You know, he's already, been dealing with injuries his first 2 years in the league. So I'm not going to kill the guy and say he doesn't want to play till 35 because I think, you have to be honest with yourself.
Oh, teach their own.
Yeah, and understand how hard it is to play.
Obviously, but I mean, like, come on, Eric. The guy's 23. He's already planning his retirement. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, you don't think, like, what if he's playing at Devontae level or whatever? He's gonna retire just because that number hits? Like, that's the only thing I don't like. I don't like when people do that stuff. Like, I don't. Aaron Donald went out on the top, but like he didn't retire after the Super Bowl. He retired, after that.
He wanted to
anyway. Well, that's a different story. But, like I just think it's so rare in sports where you get a Peyton Manning. Who else retired right after a Super Bowl? I can't remember, but Peyton Manning.
John Elway.
Oh, yeah. Jerome Bettis, John Elway. Like that happens so rare in sports. And like I think guys sometimes don't misunderstand also that like, why are you going to leave at your peak? You know what I mean? Like, why would you leave at the height of when you're performing and playing super well?
That's Barry Sanders.
Oh, well, another one. Is he? Oh, no, but he's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, he is.
Yeah. But like that to me just doesn't make any sense. Like I get it. I'm not there. I don't know what it's like, whatever else. But like, I understand not everybody's a quarterback who's going to play till they're almost 50 like Tom, but like, to have more or the longevity, I don't know why you wouldn't want to go a little further and see, because the whole point is to win a Super Bowl anyway. So it's like, why would you stop if you haven't won a Super Bowl?
Because you made $40 million.
Well, I guess everybody's different. I get it. Not everybody would be like me. We're like, don't get me wrong. I'd obviously want to secure money, but like, you still want to win a damn championship. Like, but I guess I'm different that way.
Championships are nice.
Yeah, but I guess I'm different that way. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like Luke Kuechly retired early because he had concussion issues and other things like that. Totally get it. But like some of these guys who just, walk away super early, I just don't get it. So,
Robert Smith. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think that the thing for me is, and myself and Vic, we're a little older than you guys are.
Eric, you don't look a day over 25.
I appreciate that. I think he's being forward thinking and thinking like, as I get older, if I continue to get beat up like this and I play until I'm 35 years old, how am I going to be able to walk and do the things that I want to do with my family after I'm
He'll
retired?
be fine. He'll be fine. What are you talking about?
I see a lot of these guys that are, 15, 20 years, beyond playing, and
What's
they're
name
not
is in a
moving so
wheelchair,
great.
for God's sakes?
Who?
McMahon.
Oh, but that's something else. Are you kidding? He was playing in the 80s. It's probably sex, drugs, and rock and roll half the time. What are we talking about? Don't get me wrong.
Not as soft as the game is today.
I totally get that, and that's true. I totally get that. But I mean, like, again,
you want to be able to enjoy your money.
Yeah.
When you're done.
You're telling me, they'll be able to enjoy it whether they're in a wheelchair or not. What are you talking about?
You can't enjoy it. That's what I say. You can't enjoy it if somebody's feeding you gerber. And
I want to say that's probably
sitting there
rare.
watching Married with Children reruns.
The most they have is a wee limp, like Jim Harbaugh. Maybe at most. I don't know.
No, Jim Harbaugh does not have a wee limp.
Yeah.
You're telling me if you would ask him though, if he would trade it, he would never trade it. He will keep that forever.
Let me.
Nick, what do you think about this?
No, I was gonna say. I mean, look at Dion. How many toes is he missing? I mean, and he had a great career, and he played DB. So I understand where Puka is coming from too. Like, football is not one of those sports where you want to stay a long time, especially the way he plays. If he was a finesse wide receiver, then I get it. But he loves football. There's no doubt about it. Just the way he plays it at 100%. But the thing is, at the same time, he's not dumb. He knows exactly, the way he plays, and he wants to make sure that.
I think he gets a contract extension halfway through this season.
I would, if I'm the Rams, I do it as soon as possible, because if you don't do it soon, his value is just going to keep going up and up. And it'll be interesting because I know a lot of people just are automatically thinking that everything's going to work out with Devontae Adams. I want to see the dynamic between the two. The reason it worked with Cooper Kupp was because Cooper Kupp was willing to do the dirty work. Is Devontae Adams going to do the dirty work? So
Vic brings up a great point, because I watched the Raiders pretty closely, and Devontae isn't.
He doesn't like blocking.
He doesn't.
He's not that dude.
No, I mean,
they
don't play preseason, which he likes, right, Eric? They don't play preseason, but is he going to be willing to do the dirty work? We'll see.
Reporter that covers the Raiders said that Devontae's willing to do everything.
Oh, really?
Right.
That's
great.
Dan, I have something for you. Eric, we have a couple more things, and then I hope you can stay and still have fun with us. Are you good? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right. Vic, can you take this off?
Yes, I got
Dan, I have a special surprise for you. I know you missed
this better not be horse shit.
I know you missed a special somebody. Let us get into grades. 2025 AFC grades.
Wow.
Who passed, who failed? Dan, it's from your favorite reporter. What's his name?
Who is it? I can't. Oh my God.
How do you like that, Dan? That new song?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I need to do a mashup of instead of John Cena sucks, Gilberto sucks. That'd be hilarious. Gilberto sucks.
He gave the Baltimore Ravens a C-.
That's fine. That's fair. They didn't do anything. They choked again, so I don't care for it. I'm tired of the Ravens. I'm sorry. I'm tired of the Ravens. The Bills I would have given a lower grade because they choked. They are terrible. I'm so sick of them. I'm sick of hearing about Josh Allen and his stupid girlfriend who I can't name a single thing she's been in. What is this for again? Is this offseason grades?
Yep.
Yes.
Free agency grades.
All right. Like Joey Bosa pickup?
Who cares? They'll still lose, Eric. They'll still lose.
Wow.
I would have given this one worse.
You can no longer call the Bengals cheap after Chase and Higgins signed massive extensions, but you can question whether the team knows how to find defensive talent. Cincinnati hasn't addressed a lackluster defense that often failed Joe Burrow in his high-scoring offense last year. Look at him bringing out the shovel, Dan.
Oh, wow. I love it. The heel's coming back. But, I agree
An
though.
F.
Oh my god, yeah. So
No.
bad. So bad. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, the Bengals. Like, that to me, I'm like, you're not a receiver away from winning a Super Bowl. You have a lot of holes, man. What are we talking about?
All right, let's go quickly through this.
right, let's
Broncos B+, Dan.
Who cares? No one. The Broncos are irrelevant. No one cares about them. They're not going to do anything.
They signed.
Actually, no, they are going to do something. They're going to make the wild card. I'll win the division. Another team will win the wild card, and then Eric's team won't. That way, I win my bet.
All right.
I like the Hufanga pickup.
A C-.
Yeah, but that guy gets hurt, dude. That guy's always hurt. I thought. Like,
He does.
they picked up him and I think Greenlaw, right, or Kinlaw or Greenlaw or
Greenlaw.
Both those guys have injuries.
Which that guy screwed me in the Super Bowl. How the hell you're getting ready to come on the field and the turf monster kills you? I don't know how that happens. My God.
Dan, Houston Texans C-.
Exactly. Oh, all of a sudden, not his Houston Texans anymore. Why did he say, I'll refrain from knocking the Texans as much as their pundits?
So he carries other pundits.
Yeah, for real. For trading left tackle,
Laramie Tunsil and offensive guard Kenyon.
Wow. And they already had a problem protecting him, I thought. No,
they did.
Trade away 2 linemen.
They signed Cam Robinson.
Nice. We'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis Colts, a D+, Dan.
That one is just a shit show. That is a dumpster fire over there. Yeah. Why did he say? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Jacksonville.
Wow.
D+.
Oh, wow. AEW president making some good moves apparently somewhere. Wow. Let's see who else.
His Kansas City.
Surprise. Wow. Take this off the screen. Eric can't see this. The convention he goes to is not going to be happy that we're showing this. Wow, his Chiefs C+. He must not be happy with them the way they failed him at the Super Bowl.
Raiders B, Dan.
No, sorry, Vic. I don't think so. I'm not worried about them.
Silver and black, baby.
Smith doesn't. No, don't get me wrong. I think, well, hopefully, but I think Vic would even say I'm fair when it comes to the Raiders. I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame they're not good. You know what I mean? Like, they're such a big brand. Like, it's bad for the NFL.
I like these 2 signings.
Oh, yeah.
And
what do you got there? What do you got? Oh, got a little silver and black right there. Just win, baby. Just win.
We'll go through these quickly. Los Angeles Chargers B-, Dan.
That probably killed them. Anything positive for my team, it kills them all the time.
Chargers fans hated not seeing a flashy free agent wide receiver. Dan, I don't remember you being angry about that.
Never.
But Higgins didn't hit the open market. LA was never going to get into a bidding war for DK Metcalf. That left the Chargers with an older group of receivers with some injury concerns that weren't worth the asking price. After selecting Ladd McConkey in the 2nd round, it was probably the right move to wait to draft another receiver, but the upgrades were made in free agency with the rushing attack getting a boost with Becton and Harris.
Good. It better happen. Greg Roman better.
Miami Dolphins C-, Dan.
Dude, they should be lower. The fact that I said this last year, Eric. That was another bet I think I made with someone.
Journalism.
Do you see how I get some of these right sometimes? I forgot who I told. I think it was Hilberto. As soon as they re-signed Tua, I was like, they're gonna regret this season. You just watch. I didn't know it was gonna be in the first game because then the bastard almost drops dead and he's out for like 5 weeks.
Hey, they got Zach Wilson. They're good, man. This should be.
God.
How do you send the MILF Hunter over to Miami? That's
with all the Botox doctors out there and the
New England Patriots and Dan.
Oh wow. Okay,
let Zach work, man.
Hey,
New York Jets C.
Yeah, that I don't know how that's gonna go, but I do like what Eric says though. He does have some swag, so we'll see what he's able to do.
Look at this, Dan.
This is a good question. Let me ask you.
I might be in the minority here, but Fields' athleticism and college connection with Garrett Wilson makes him an upgrade over Rodgers.
Wow, athleticism code word for hey, zone read the shit out of everybody else. Have him run the football.
Pittsburgh Steelers C+.
I would make this lower.
Tennessee Titans D.
Wow, he's hating on my boys in Nashville. What's going on?
And there he is, Dan.
Look at that photo. Look at that. That's probably like 15 years old, dude. I wonder how old that photo is. That photo is so old. I'm willing.
By the way, this is his fault.
Gil's looking clean there, man.
Yeah, I know. Nice little professional headshot. Look at that. By the way, I was going to ask you who just like spitballing, because this is like we haven't seen anything, but spitballing, who do you think, which coordinator from the Lions does better between Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson? Which one do you think?
I think Ben Johnson, because he has the better quarterback.
When the team's kind of, they have some stuff already set up where I think Aaron Glenn has just a full like rebuild almost.
He has a defense.
At least, I guess.
Aaron Glenn's team has a lot of work. So prayers up for Glenn and his ability in the
we'll
games.
pour one out for him.
We're talking about.
I was gonna say, because Dan is great at getting this transition. So Eric did a great story. He has 5 new teams that are gonna make the playoffs, and one of those is the Bears. And so rather than you letting us know who those teams are, Eric, we wanted to ask you which 4 or 5 NFL playoff teams that actually make the playoffs last season are in danger of not making the playoffs. So not the 4, so that way people can go and check out your story. We want to know which ones do you think have a lot of work to do.
And think wisely, because a certain team made the playoffs. So you better relax over there.
Well, I'm not going to go for that team in Southern California, although I do feel like they could possibly take a step back. I'm going to go with the team that went to the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are a team that could potentially fall off a cliff.
Yes.
We saw, what happened. Jalen Moore, I don't know if he's going to be the guy that can protect Mahomes. You get rid of Tooney, who's a good player. They bring back Hollywood Brown. They bring back Juju Smith-Schuster. You look at their offense, you're like, can you really just continue to like patch it on offense and really rely on your defense to carry you? They were 11-0 in 1-score games. That's not going to happen again. Their best players are getting older. You talk about Kelsey, Chris Jones.
Kelsey looked really bad down the stretch last year.
Mahomes is going to be 30 this year. Not that Mahomes is. I think he's going to drop off a cliff, but he's not getting any younger.
I would love it.
So yeah, I just they've won the AC West 9 straight times. They can't keep winning it. At some point, somebody's gonna overtake them.
My turn.
Eric, if you had to choose one of the 3 teams to overtake them for the division, who do you think? How would you stack them up right now?
Well, I guess I would go Chargers.
Yes.
And I'm actually going to go Raiders over the Broncos.
Oh.
I'm going to keep Broncos at 4. I'll go Chiefs 3.
You know what's crazy, Eric? I know everybody's really excited about the Broncos. I'm a little bit hesitant when it comes to that team. I will take them out of mine, and I will say they will not make the playoffs next year.
Okay.
When a team gets celebrated the way they've been really celebrating the Broncos this offseason, and Bo Nix, now teams are going to see it. There was a lot of games that were ticky-tacky, like the game against Cleveland where Jameis throws for almost 500 yards, had 3 touchdowns, but had 2 pick sixes. Like, there was just a lot of ticky-tack stuff that happened with Denver, and I just don't know if I'm sold on Denver. So I'll give that as one of my teams that I don't think make the playoffs next year.
Okay.
Vic, why don't you give us one of yours?
Mine's pretty easy, and they're the ones still looking for a quarterback, and it's going to be the Steelers. I just don't know where they go here. Ever since Ben Roethlisberger, retired, they've been looking for a quarterback, and now they're turning to Aaron Rodgers.
Right now it's Mason Rudolph. Let's
see if that's he won't be. And Louis Riddick keeps saying that that's why I wanted to ask Eric about it, because he keeps saying that kid Shook is going to go there. They're going to draft him if he's there at whatever number. I think it's 21 or 22.
Yeah, I think it's 21.
Yeah, so I would say it's the Steelers. Also, you're in a tough division with the Ravens, and part of the other thing I know I picked them last year not to make the playoffs as well, but look at that schedule, how bad it was at the end. It's just gonna be the same thing next season, and so and I guess even more tougher. Now that they finished, I think the year before that they had finished 3rd, which that meant they had a 3rd play schedule. So it's going to be tough for the Steelers. But that'll be one team for sure that I'm gonna say won't make the playoffs next season.
I'm excited for this. Dan, give us one team that won't make the playoffs.
I have two.
No, give us one, and then we're gonna go back to Eric.
Okay.
We'll end it with you.
Okay, well, both of my teams are NFC North, so don't touch any of the NFC North teams. I'll go with the first one. I think Are you trying to slander me right now? What are you doing? You're trying to be a Taurus right now? That's terrible. Everybody roots for Detroit. What's wrong with you? Have they not suffered enough? My God.
Gilberto doesn't.
No, he's a scumbag. What does he know? He thought the Vikings were going to go 3-14. We saw how that turned out.
What about the Raiders?
Oh, my God. Too many to pick, but I don't want to talk about Eric's Raiders right now because he's pretty high on them, so I don't want to talk about them right now. But I think, honestly, the Vikings are going to take a step back this year, honestly. I think they caught lightning in a bottle with Sam Darnold. You don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. You don't know how he's going to perform coming off his injury. I think the doctor's a viable candidate to go in there and surgically carve up these defenses. But, I mean, you just don't know. I think there's a lot of question marks for that offense. Like, I know they have weapons on there. I know they have talent. But, I mean, if you can't get Justin Jefferson the ball, that's going to be a problem. So, I'll go with the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to be in danger of missing it.
Eric, one last one for you.
I'll go Bucks. Barely squeaked in last year. Good ones coming off the injury. They're losing Liam Cohen, so they got to replace the OC. I like Bowles as a coach, and I think their defense. They got Reddick. I think that's going to help them. Pump up the pass rush a little bit. I don't know. I just think Baker's due for a slide. And I think Atlanta will be better now that Penix is starting the year.
He didn't look
as
bad.
The quarterback.
He didn't look bad.
He played pretty well.
Yeah.
But Raheem's under some pressure too. Like he needs to win there. And they're set up to win. So they got to finish it out and reclaim the NFC South.
Yeah. Vic, why don't you give us another one?
That was one of the teams that I looked at because that one makes sense. I'm trying to go through the teams. I know the Bills will make it.
The Ravens will make it. Yeah.
Texans, honestly,
I think the Rams are going to make it again just because of what they have
division.
there.
You have like 3 playoff teams in shitty divisions. Like that's
kind of like. I'll go out on a limb with one team. I'll say the Green Bay Packers do not make the playoffs.
Fuck! That's the one I told you I was going to go with.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dan. You
God
go ahead.
Take
it. You take it. Sorry.
Son of a bitch. No, we'll just tag team it now. Not a LaFleur guy. I think the Bears are going to be better, so that might not be a sweep for them. Well, you'd think, but then I remember who the quarterback is, so I mean, we'll have to wait and see about that.
Beard fingers.
Not a LaFleur guy. I think at times they're too hot and cold. I don't know what type of direction they're moving in, so I just hate LaFleur's guts. So I'll go.
What about their number one fan?
Yeah, he's the worst. The cheese-eating bastard. I need them to miss the playoffs so I can tell him to kiss my ass even more as he watches this to the postseason. That was another bet I paid over the weekend, by the way.
Oh.
We got wings and beers. I got greedy on both bets. That's what pisses me off. I got greedy. This is why I don't gamble.
It is.
But so I had to pay you out, and then I paid him out over the weekend. So,
okay, I'm gonna give you a team. I'll give you one, and I know that they're doing a lot of stuff, and a lot of people are high on this team. I'm gonna go with the Washington Commanders.
Oh,
I remember that division has a streak where the division winner has won. It's been a different winner each season now for I think 20 years now.
Yeah.
The Eagles just won it, so someone's gonna win it between the Giants or the Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
And so I just going off of that, I just think it's hard to kind of bring back that magic again. And eventually, second year quarterbacks usually go through a slump there. It's just gonna be everybody's gonna be gunning for them. It's just gonna be hard. I maybe the Eagles win that division again. And that's what keeps the Washington Commanders out. So I'm going to say the Commanders are not going to, or Gilberto's Commanders won't make the playoffs.
His Commanders all of a sudden.
By the way, Eric, I don't know if you know this. Gil jumped on and off that bandwagon 3 times last year.
Oh, yeah. It was hilarious.
Halfway through the year, he jumped on towards the middle, he kind of jumped off. Middle of the end of last season. Then he jumped on for the playoffs, and then he hopped right off as soon as they got blown out. And we got into it one day because the game where Jalen Hurts got out with a concussion and the Commanders came back and beat him. Mm-hmm. I told him if they play again, if Jalen Hurts stays in that game, they blow him out. He's like, there's no way. What happens in the NFC Championship, Dan?
I know. They got blown out.
There you go.
My boy was right.
Sometimes I know things. No, I'm kidding. No, but Gilbert, Gilbert was right on them halfway through the year. He's like, hey, they're going to get hot, and they did. And they were really –
he was on Jaden Daniels from the beginning, too.
But I like what Vic said. It's going to be interesting to see if the game slows down for him. Teams are going to be able to scout for him. They play the AFC West, so that's going to be tough.
Not worried. Not
all
worried.
Four of those teams. No, I'm talking about Jaden Daniels having a.
That's what I said.
You're not worried.
I'm not worried.
Yeah. You hear that, Eric? He's not worried.
I'm not worried.
Yeah. Washington's my pick to go to the Super Bowl. So so we'll see.
What about in the AFC?
Yeah. I need to look at the colors again. I don't know if red was in there.
Buffalo Bills.
Terrible. Dude, they can't even get past a hobbled Kansas City Chiefs team. What are we even talking about? These guys are a bunch of bums.
At least they lost to the team that went to the Super Bowl.
Here we go. At least. Well, onlys and just and candies and nuts. Every day would be Unka Donka Fest if that was true.
You know what? I want to go with Houston so bad.
They're in a crappy division.
So bad.
Crappy division.
They're gonna make it. So, but do you think that rule's gonna get past, Eric? The divisional.
It should.
Even if you win the division and you have a worse record than a wild card team, you could be the one because that means the Chargers would have hosted the
Texans.
I think you should get to host a game if you win your division. I think winning your division means something, even if your division is crap.
Eric says, "Get off his lawn, Dan."
That's right.
No, I hate that rule. I've always hated that rule. It's
get off my lawn and get out of my Gran Torino.
No, that's a good movie reference. I like that.
Two more things, Eric, and then we'll let you go. Again, we appreciate you so much for jumping on. I feel like we abuse of your time, but you're always the favorite guest on here. So, Eric, obviously the NFL quarterback it got named who the three quarterbacks that they're going to follow. It was 4 last year. I guess Mahomes said no thank you for this season. It's going to be Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, which I don't know why you would want them to follow.
Wow, holding the clipboard. That's going to be real exciting.
Who was the last one? Sam Darnold? No, it was
Brock
one
Purdy
of those guys.
was one, I think.
Oh, Brock Purdy. There you go. It might be those 3 guys.
Hold on, let me check.
Okay. So obviously we want to do the flip and say what are 3. Well, you know what? Let's each do one, and then if we have an extra one, we can throw it in there. But give me, Eric, one defensive player that you would want to see the cameras follow on a show.
I'm gonna cheat and give you 2. Devon Witherspoon, Seattle Seahawks, likes to talk a lot of trash, fiery guy.
There you go.
Would love to see how he kind of gets prepared as a guy that really only weighs 185 pounds. How he's able to kind of take the week in and week out, beating that you take as a guy that plays in the box, and that's light. And then the other guy obviously is Myles Garrett. I want to watch him count his money. I want to see how he spends his money as a guy that's, the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. And what do you do with that kind of money in Cleveland? I'd be interested to see that.
He probably
hit half the state.
He probably hit himself over the head with a helmet in excitement. Did the audio ever come out of that?
No, of course not.
I hope not. We don't need to.
Never came out.
No, because whatever.
Yeah,
right.
we can.
The third quarterback is Jared Goff.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah. I know 2 people that'll be excited about that.
Yeah,
Adam Hill and Cassie Soto.
Yeah,
they love the Goffs. So there you go. Dan, why don't you give me one defensive player or 2 if you'd like?
I'll just give you my 2. Then number 1, I'd love to see Derwin James. That's my dog. I think I just love the way he plays all over the field. He's physical. Reminds you of the old style of football where these damn DBs were huge and they were physical. They were not afraid to make tackles unless your name was Prime. I think the other defensive player I'd love to see is off the field. I'd love to see Deshaun Watson's defense team out there and seeing what they get up to, how they get hit. I would have said OJ's, but they're all gone. So
Eric, you should see the biggest bromance out there is between Derwin and Dan. Derwin, every time I see him in the locker room, he's like, how's your brother doing? How's the team doing? How'd they do this week? This, that. And like, he's always asking me about Dan. They have a huge bromance there.
That's my dude. I
pretty
love
cool.
Derwin.
He
There's a connection.
well,
That's my dog.
Dan has a special jersey given that Derwin
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty
Shout out.
Pretty cool.
Shout
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan has fans. I'm telling you, people
Always.
love Dan. But you know that, Eric. There's only one person on this
Yeah.
show that doesn't like Dan.
Yeah. And where's he? Where's that scumbag?
Dan kicked him off the show.
Exactly. I
He
said it's
stunted
my
him.
turn to take over. Yeah, that's right.
Vic, why don't you give us a player? I have a fun one.
I'll give you two. I'll say Sauce Gardner. I love his stuff, what he does during the off season. Him learning how to play golf was awesome, and seeing all those tweets. And then the other one, just for like, we emphasize the quarterback a lot. I want to get the quarterback of the defense and the linebacker, and just be in a film session with Fred Warner.
Yeah,
what makes
that one
him
would be
be
good.
that great? And I know he has a podcast with his wife, but I want to know, how he goes about preparing for a day. I'm always been intrigued by middle linebackers or just linebackers, and I just don't think they get the love that, at least not for the past decade. So he would be someone that I would want the cameras to follow for a whole season.
I have two, and then I have a cheat for my third. Number one of my new favorite players, Jared Verse. After what he did with the Eagles fans,
yeah.
I want to see what he really is like now when it comes to getting ready, getting hyped up, talking crap to fans, all that. So I'll go Jared Verse. Two, I'm surprised he hasn't been mentioned. I know he's older, but I still would love to see Jalen Ramsey, because Jalen still, we all know Jalen talks a lot of crap. Derwin tells me that Jalen even talks crap to him. So, I'd love to see that. And then third, I'm going to go on the offensive side. I'd love to see Tyreek Hill on one of these. Just
I would
follow
not.
Tyreek.
I'm
Follow
good.
Tyreek Hill during
I've
the
seen
whole
enough
season.
videos of Tyreek Hill on the internet. I'm
Okay,
good.
no, allegedly. I just want to see what happens there with that. All right, that was pretty fun. Eric, I promise you, last one, and then we'll let you go. It's a two-parter. One, what do you think Sam Darnold brings to the Seahawks? We haven't spoken to you about that.
Mhm.
And could they be possibly, well, you know what? It's going to be another question also on top of this. And the other one is, do you think the Seahawks are in line to draft a quarterback in the first round? Or because they lost DK and Tyler, they're going to be like, you know what? Let's try and go receiver again. We hit last year with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Let's try and go receiver. Or do you think they could possibly look at getting a quarterback? Because essentially, Sam Darnold's deal is a one-year deal.
So with Sam, he's basically a younger, more agile version of Geno. He's 7 years younger. He can scramble a little bit. He showed last year that he can play winning football if he's protected. I don't think they'll draft a quarterback in the first round. John Snyder's drafted two quarterbacks in 15 years since he's been there, Alex Magoo and Russell Wilson. So that's not his MO. And they like Sam Howell. He's 24 years old. He played, the entire season. His rookie year with Washington, he did do a little bit of a Jameis Winston impersonation. He liked to throw the ball to the other team. But having talked with Snyder a little bit and knowing him, he likes guys that have traits, that have strong arms, that can move a little bit. He's the guy that traded for Charlie Whitehurst when they first showed up to come in and compete with Matt Hasselbeck. Charlie, for whatever you think about him, Charlie can throw the football. He was kind of that guy that was a big physical guy that could sling it. And so when Snyder's, looking for guys, he's looking for those kind of guys. He went to Josh Allen's pro day when he was out in Wyoming. So obviously he had some interest in Josh Allen. But in terms of Darnold, I think it makes sense. Basically they have him for a year. If he works, great. If not, they'll look for somebody else either through the draft or bring in another guy through free agency.
Man, I'm wondering what their plan is for the receiver position, because obviously, with the receiver position, because obviously Tyler Lockett's not there. DK's not there, and I mean Jackson Smith and Jigba, didn't he like tweet out like him by himself in like a room or something? Like he felt like he was all
that Will
alone.
Smith meme?
Yeah, he was all alone or whatever. So
Yep.
I'm wondering what they're gonna do next
Well,
to
they got-
him. And
They got Cooper.
Cup? Yeah.
oh yeah, they did get Cooper. Yeah,
Paid
but
him $15 million a year. So
yeah, didn't you think that's a little overpriced?
That's way too much money. I wouldn't pay half of these skill players
they,
that.
they like Cooper and what he does. You know, he does like the block. You know, we know he'll do that. And
Yeah,
I think,
For the
position-
4 games, he'll be healthy, or
and they also signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling, so he's the guy that's going to play on the.
And they
perimeter.
really like Bobo, the kid out of UCLA.
They like Jake Bobo. They
Yeah,
love him
and,
up there.
What's
Yeah.
a position that you'd pay a lot of money for?
offensive line, 100%. That's where
Really?
it would all go for.
Really?
Offensive line, defensive line, front 7. That's where it all go for.
The non-athletes. You gonna give them all
Oh,
the
have
money?
you seen someone skip pull? You're crazy. Too bad I don't have the tape, but I had a teammate who was like 6'4", 315 pounds. He would chase all those skinny ass skill players like yourself all over the place. The
Yeah.
guy was crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
emphasis in chase and not catch.
No, he caught
Because
him.
He runs
Oh,
a
he caught him.
5'2" 40.
No, he caught him. He caught him.
Eric,
That
do you
guy
think
was
It's really hard to kick step. Like I don't know if I could ever learn how to do that.
Yeah, you can't because you don't have the intellectual prowess.
I don't
nor
know.
the
if my-
physicality.
My synapses can connect with my feet to allow me to kick step.
Do you understand skip pulling and climbing to the second level, making sure you're
pulling,
hitting the
reaching.
linebacker?
It's really hard to reach block.
It is.
Combo
It is.
block.
It's
I gotta
really
get
hard.
to the guy at the second level.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
tough.
It's
Dan,
really
when they're
hard.
doing the
I'm
when they're
blocking
doing
the
the
front
hurry up
side backer,
offense,
the backside linebacker. I don't
when they're
know.
doing hurry up offense, who's always the one dragging ass behind?
The
Dan?
receivers are always dragging ass. They're over here trying to celebrate shit. Get on the damn football. I get it. I saw this year. Clearly, it's hard to catch open passes from the skill players. Look what I had to watch all year.
Somebody has to actually score the touchdowns. And get the ball over the
but
goal.
what you don't
I mean, somebody has to
understand is
do that.
This isn't flag or 7-on-7 crazy. You need offensive line every single play. If you have shitty offensive linemen, your team's not going to win many games. And great skill players, your team's not going to win many games. You do it the inverse, you're going to win some damn football games. You believe that?
Hey, I've
Eric,
done my job. I've made Daniel turn red. So
Yeah.
I know, and I hate that every single time you do. I honestly don't. I don't look no further than Jalen Hurts. You're telling me Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the league? What he has is the best offensive line, and they made a deal with the devil to make sure they had some pretty damn good weapons on top of that. That's how you should build teams. All these other that's why the Bengals to me are so baffling. Like I get
Saquon
keep
Barkley's
Jamar.
pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, he's good. What did he do in New York with no offensive line? He didn't do anything. It's not like they went anywhere. He might have had a few good years, but then he was hurt. Why was he hurt? He was
Eric,
getting
last
tackled in the
one.
backfield.
do you think Aaron Rodgers and to the
doctor.
Steelers is basically now a
The
done deal,
doctor.
or do you think he could wait and see if the Vikings decide to offer him something? Maybe the Vikings during camp or the beginning of mini camp say, you know what, we don't know if JJ is going to be ready. Maybe we let him sit a year, learn behind Aaron, especially with some of the dogs that they have already on this team. Because I'll tell you one thing, you could tell at the end of the season, Justin Jefferson was frustrated, and there could be the T word could be thrown around.
That's what they should do. They should sign the good doctor.
Wow.
So Eric, what do you? I think Justin Jefferson is gonna get frustrated at one point and be like, either we win or I'm out. Like
I think
want
they're
out.
all in on JJ. I think.
So
I don't
you think it's gonna?
I don't think you can bring in Aaron and expect JJ to just sit there and get better by watching. And I think Aaron wants to. I think he'll end up with the Steelers. I think they're offering him the best opportunity in terms of playing time. I think the Vikings are gonna lean into Kevin and his ability to develop quarterbacks. I mean, he got Sam to the point where they won 14 games, and I think they're gonna roll with JJ and sign a veteran.
All
I
right,
think that's such a bad move, dude. I think what was his injury again? It was an ACL or something crazy,
I
right?
think it was
No.
meniscus.
He needed like 3 surgeries. We don't even
One
know if
was
he's
a
going to be
cleanup.
ready for training camp. That's still we don't know if he's going to be ready for training camp, or do we know?
I'm sorry. Did you watch Aaron Rodgers play last year?
For the
I mean-
Jets, can you name who was on the Jets offense? Period.
They were okay. I mean, they had his boy Devontae there. He had his best friend playing receiver.
But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It looks shitty because he brought Nathaniel Hackett, who's his guy, and it shit the bed and all this other stuff.
He's 41 years old.
They weren't a good team. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like you're more than anything, you're protecting JJ, in my opinion. Because if you throw him in there off of an injury, especially if he's rushed, has a shitty year, it's not going to go well. You at least protect him another year. He gets to learn behind arguably one of the best quarterbacks
Eric's not having it. Look at him.
Ever entered the league. Because let me tell you something. I'll put my money in the drug addict over your Mr. Clean over there any day of the week. I bet you anything, my boy stats in the Super Bowl a lot better than yours. So
I'll just say this. We saw how the rookies played last year. Bo Nix got his team to the playoffs. Jaden Daniels got his team to the NFC Championship game. Caleb Williams had a crappy head coach and OC, so he struggled. Michael Penix, when he went in the game, looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So JJ was a part of that draft class. So to me, if he's fully healthy and he can give you that kind of production on a rookie deal, and you don't have to deal with Aaron Rodgers and his crazy stuff, I'm rolling with the rookie.
We need to take you to a darkness retreat. We're going to give you some ayahuasca, some drugs, some peyote.
I would do that just because
I'm scared of the dark, Daniel. I don't want to go in a dark retreat.
You lose ayahuasca. Supposedly you drop like 30 pounds in like
you want to vomit and puke.
Well, give me the ayahuasca then.
No.
Yeah, I'll drop those 30 pounds.
Puke and diarrhea? No thanks, dude.
Screw it. I will be fine.
I would be. Eric, I'm not gonna lie. I would be scared in the all darkness retreat because you don't even get your phone. Like, have you ever heard about that?
You don't get your phone, Eric. Look at the Gen Z over here.
Hey, you're in the dark. What are you supposed to do to entertain yourself?
Well, no shit. What's a darkness retreat? Obviously, you're not going to have your phone.
You can't even read.
Hey, wait, darkness retreat or New York? What's your choice, Daniel?
No, darkness retreat every day. Don't send me to New York. It has good food, but I might take the darkness.
Eric, before you leave,
no thanks.
last one.
Broncos country. That's right. There we go. Russ, thanks. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
He's going to get
appreciate that
out the rest of his day now.
Eric, thank you so much. That is Eric D. Williams. Thank you so much, Eric. You are the best.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll talk to you next time. Thank you.
The doctor coming to Minnesota.
That was Eric D. Williams. We love that guy.
Legend.
We always have a great time with him. Real quick, just to go over some news and notes. Vic, did you watch Monday Night Raw yesterday?
I did not. I did see some of the highlights though. I saw John Cena's and little stuff with Cody Rhodes. But I did like that he brought up the little kid again.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. That was definitely hilarious. Tom's so right. When you're frying on ayahuasca, you don't need entertainment.
That's a good point.
Going back to, so again, I'm still of the mindset that there's something going, like they're not letting Cena talk to Rhodes.
That's
by the
weird.
way, Dan, when we were watching it yesterday, I was going to tell you something, but I decided to hold it. John Cena makes everybody's dreams come true. Dan was telling me when Cena came out at the Money in the Bank last year and said, hey, next year is my last ride. That's it. I'm leaving. Like, you're not going to see the Jorts anymore. I'll come back and do some stuff, but you're not going to see me in the ring. Dan sat there, and it was little Daniel, Dan, and I watching, and he goes, damn, you know what's crazy? I would love for one final time to hear, let's go Cena, Cena sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Cena came through, and he gave Dan an opportunity to hear, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. So, Dan, I want you to thank my guy for dying.
I will thank him for that. I will thank him for that because I was so tired. I was so tired of everyone just being like, oh, John Cena, you're retiring. Let's be respectful when he walks in. And I love that now it's back to the John Cena sucks, going to his music and everything else. And obviously the let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Absolutely legendary. Those were one of my favorite chants, honestly. Then the other one I love is when they go, shut the fuck up. That one always kills me, dude, especially when they do it to Cena. But, you know, I don't know what your thoughts have been, Vic, but like for me, they've been a little lackluster as promos. Like they'll have good moments, but overall, I'm kind of like, where are we going with this? You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing I haven't liked about. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
I love that. I love that so much. I miss that. That's what I miss from like his peak days where it was just so loud and deafening. Like
I already told you what I thought. They're still waiting to really throw it out
it's
there,
weird.
but I think they're wasting it because the European fans are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're giving
like that, but that's what I'm saying.
you want.
Could you imagine a legit promo in front of the? Well, we still have London, right? They're in
London. Yeah, yeah.
Oh well. Oh no, today's barely Tuesday. I thought.
Yeah, we have London
now.
still, but I think
He's going to be there for that, right? It's only Raw.
Yeah, they'll both be there on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Supposedly, The Rock is coming back pretty soon, but they haven't announced yet when.
Yeah,
I think he might come out in London. I think London is a destination where The Rock might come in, and because we still don't know. There's only 4 Mondays left before Raw. So what's happened? Like, WrestleMania. Yeah. So why did he join The Rock? What happened? Vic, I don't know if you saw this highlight, but Cena basically said, I am gonna make you guys forget the name.
That
Ric
was funny.
Flair.
That was funny.
You guys
that
are
I
only
did
gonna
like.
remember the name John Cena. I was like, dude, this is like, I'm telling you, it's getting better and better. It's just gonna take a little bit.
Yeah.
He's gonna get better. I think he continues this up until SummerSlam. I really do think. I don't think they're gonna just take it to Mania, and then after Mania, he sees the light. I think it might be till SummerSlam.
Hey guys, remember me?
I think it'll be till SummerSlam, and then after SummerSlam, he comes back for the final stretch, which one of his final stretch, San Diego is one of the last few cities that will see Cena.
LA, right? LA and
LA is Money in the Bank, and then San Diego is Survivor Series. So I'm definitely excited. I might cry that night.
No, I was gonna say in terms of the whole Cena thing too.
I'd drown you in a toilet if you yelled Cena sucks.
It happened too.
I think the aspect that I like more, Fernando and Dan, is I like the whole chasing ghosts aspect of it. What I mean by that is like Cody isn't worthy of John Cena's, retirement. I feel like getting Ric Flair and the whole, he's the guy, he's out there tweeting about how he doesn't that angle more than I like this whole thing with Cody Rhodes. And so for me, the way I would approach it is, I would use Ric Flair's words against him and make it about, look, if I'm John Cena, I'm saying I'm chasing ghosts, I'm not chasing you. And so that's the way I look at it, because there's nobody that is ever gonna do what I've done for the WWE, even though like what Ric Flair did for, what was it, 4 decades of wrestling. He's the reason why you have what it has, but you can use it to your advantage to be able to, make it about that and sell your retirement tour. So that's the way that's the way I like that angle of it, and him bringing up Ric Flair there, but we'll see what happens.
I just wish he would have gone like a different angle than, oh, you guys are rude and da 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 da. Like, I wish seriously if he was gonna go through that angle. And I know this is maybe not kosher and people get pissed about it, but like, I wish he would have brought up Hulk Hogan. And whatever you think about him, I don't care. What I'm talking about is Hulk Hogan was loved, carried the company, and passed it on to the next generation. And now they boo the shit out of him. Whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter, like in the context of the story. Like,
right.
John Cena should have brought that up. Look what you guys did to Hulk. I'm getting ahead of it, and you guys can kiss my ass or something like that. Like, to me, like, just he sounds bitchy sometimes when he's talking about.
We're only two times. He's only done 2 promos.
Here we go. Here we go. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't talked a lot about Cody. Yeah, there it is. You can't cheat me. Then I do like what you said, Frown. I wish he would have changed some of the words around on his shirt, because it's so weird. Like, you see the outfit, you're like, wait, but that's the good guy, and then he's like over here running his mouth. But like, I think it's funny. Like, don't get me wrong, he has good moments. I think it's funny that he looks on the internet and jokes about or brings that stuff up, which is hilarious. But like again, like some of the stuff, I'm just like, where are we going with this? Like, this makes no sense to me. Again, I would have preferred if he was the tyrant they described him to be backstage and said, I'm not going to be denied my.
Well, I liked what he said yesterday. I like that he said, I'm gonna ruin wrestling.
That was hilarious.
I don't know if you heard this. He said, I'm gonna win this championship and I'm gonna retire. I'm not even gonna wait till the year's over. I'm gonna retire the championship and that's it. You guys will have to make up a new toy.
Yes.
Out there. Jorge, you are an hour and 35 minutes late. We had your favorite compa on. Eric Williams was on here. We talked Chargers. We talked Russell Wilson, Stephon Diggs.
By the way, don't forget to smash the like button. Smash the like button.
Smash the like button.
Help us out.
The one feud that I think just took a turn for a positive is Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk.
Yeah.
CM Punk came out the other day and goes he came out on Monday. Well, they had their promo on Friday. I kind of didn't like Roman's angle. Oh, here you go. This is what we had we did a story from Gilberto, and this is what all the fans were chanting.
That's right, Jorge. Blame Gilberto.
So I didn't like Roman's angle where he's like, well, you screwed me. Well, Roman, like in the Royal Rumble, you're supposed to throw somebody out. I want Roman to use the angle of you're effing with my wise man. I don't like that. I like Seth Rollins hates CM Punk, and then CM Punk wants to come for Roman's top spot. So there's the full circle right there. I could see a scenario in Dan where Seth Rollins is the one that walks out with Paul Heyman on night one of WrestleMania.
That's what they should make the triple threat. I
could see him telling leaving with Paul Heyman, but it doesn't matter. The buildup is what I've liked about that because CM Punk came out on Monday and he's like, look, I'm still the best in the world. I don't care how old I am. The crazy part is when he told them, I brought you guys into this company and I'm going to take you guys out of this company. I'm like, oh, shit. He's throwing it back to when he was the Shield member. Another interesting point of Monday Night Raw, or my bad, if you guys want to comment on the storyline. I think that match is
I like the grimace part.
Yeah.
I think honestly, that one's been more.
Show.
I think that one's been more interesting than the John Cena one. Honestly, the buildup has been way better for that match. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm waiting on.
Again, we're still waiting for the Cena one. Still hasn't
Cena can do no wrong. I forgot.
No, well, he's
also all natural.
We don't know what the Rock's angle to all this is. We don't know. We still haven't had Cena and him trade words yet. So
and then there's supposed to be a third member as well. Like we don't know.
So I was gonna say for the third member,
Stone Cold. What if it is Stone Cold? The third member. Like I know we're going back again, but what if we're doing generations here and it's like all the generations are that pretty much kept the sport alive and they've all been kicked. And like Hogan. The Rock and John Cena and Hogan and and you bring Stone Cold, like you bring those generations and they all like kind of shit on the new generation. Like
that actually would be funny.
I don't know.
I don't know if you heard, but Gunter was on that new show, that Legends show, the one where they're creating a new. So it's funny because Gunter is telling this girl, this team should be way more charismatic. I don't know why. You guys have been here for a while. Why aren't you guys better? Turns into the Undertaker and says, I'm surprised with them being led by you. They're not more charismatic. You failed these guys. Yeah. And the Undertaker's face is like, what? And I'm like, damn, that actually is funny.
I love Gunther.
I like this rivalry. I think. Are you going to talk about this one?
Yeah, the third member. Were you moving on or no?
Oh, yeah, I was going to move on.
Oh, hold on. Let me just say something real quick about the third member. I think...
Alberto Del Rio's not allowed to compete in Tijuana for wrestling for the next 6 months.
Hilarious.
He hit an old lady during a show, and she had to be sent to the hospital.
What an idiot! But I just think the third member, okay, this is my opinion, needs to be somebody who needs an elevation. You know what I mean? Okay. Kind of what they did with Seth Rollins and the Authority and things like that. I just don't think they should bring in another legend. Like Randy Orton doesn't need a bump. Stone
Austin
Cold
Theory
doesn't
is
need
kind
a
of the
bump.
guy for me.
I think he would be good. I think Gunther would be really good. But like
Come
somebody
on, it's
who
got to
just-
be Dominic.
Oh, that would be even
That
better.
actually would be a good one.
I think.
By the way, I
Dominic-
think Dominic's winning a championship at WrestleMania.
I hope so. I think Dominic, it's time to give him a wee push.
I think I
Let
saw
him win the
Dominic
W-
versus Penta versus Braun Breaker versus Finn
Oh.
Balor at WrestleMania.
Is,
Oh wow.
I could see Dominic being the one that
I hope
comes
so.
out of there.
is it true that and I don't know, I saw it on TikTok, but that Lib deleted all the pictures with him so
Yeah.
there's a breakup coming, I'm guessing, and so that
Probably.
kind of makes sense. She's like they need to both go their own way and kind of make their own thing. So
I would love to see Dom lead the Judgment Day if that's possible. But like, you know what I mean? Somebody who needs to be elevated, not like someone else who is just a legend in of his own
I'm
right.
still on the hill that Liv Morgan right now is the best.
She is. She is.
female wrestler
She
in
is.
WWE.
She is. She
There's
is.
nobody better than her. Like,
Without a doubt.
she's
Without a
dominating.
doubt.
You're putting her in the tag team, she's dominating. You're putting
Yeah.
her with a championship, she's dominating.
You
You're
want
putting
to
her with
watch.
whatever.
You want to
Yeah.
watch. Like,
Yeah.
like, dude,
there's no doubt about it. Since you brought it up like a couple of months ago, like I've just seen people talking about her and everything that she's doing, and I know I'm sure you'll talk about that triple threat match that we might see in the
Dude,
Go
they're
ahead.
turning on Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fans are not happy with. I don't know what's going on with Bianca Belair, but I think fans feel like either she has a championship, like a WWE championship, or she has a tag team. Like she always has gold around her waist, and I think
Same
fans are
with
starting to
Rhea.
get kind of fed up with her.
Same with Rhea.
And I think right now is the time where you turn her heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what you need to do. Maybe put Rhea as like the CM Punk, where she's more of like an anti-hero. You leave EO as the baby face, and then you make Bianca the
Heel.
the heel. And I could see a scenario where EO actually keeps her championship at WrestleMania. I think they'll put on a banger, but I think EO walks away with that
She
championship.
should. She should. You didn't take it
yeah.
off of Liv. Just
I still think that what they're waiting for maybe at SummerSlam is a Bianca Rhea like championship match.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Becky still hasn't come back, and the way Seth said on Rich Eisen that Rue, that's her daughter's name,
Yeah,
Rue,
Rue.
she goes to school, and obviously like that, I think that's kind of taken priority, and I think Becky's involved with like other projects and stuff, so who knows when she comes back. But I think that match is kind of lacking. Like, I don't know. I like the part where they like push EO, like they
Yes.
they get in her way and they kind of shove her off.
But it needs something, right, Fernando?
Yeah,
Like
it
feels like
it needs some juice, and it just doesn't have it. And I still don't. I can already tell you how Monday Night's gonna end with that. Like Bianca's gonna end up getting hit by either EO or Rhea. She's gonna turn around and hit both of them. It's gonna end in a no disqualification. What's his ass is gonna come out and he's gonna be like, "Listen here, I'm so pissed off with this. We're just gonna make it a triple threat match at WrestleMania."
Yeah.
Like you kind of need to interject something into that match. The one that really needs
A ladder.
like the one that really needs like some steroids thrown in it or something is the Charlotte.
that one's on life support. That
No,
one's
no.
so bad.
But you know why? They're making Charlotte bury her. Like Charlotte was burying her the other day on a promo, and I'm like, what are we like? Why are you doing that? Why aren't you letting Tiffany like shit on Charlotte? Like a lot of fans really believe that Charlotte's gonna win the championship at Mania, and people are like, dude, then you literally just wasted Tiffany Stratton. So I still think they should throw Alexa Bliss into that championship match and maybe interject some life into it. But it sounds like the Bray Wyatt 6 or the Wyatt 6 or whatever is coming back, and that she's going to be a part of it. But a little bit of the WrestleMania build up there. Vic, real quick, can you take this off for a little bit? I don't know if you guys saw. I have some Una Mas stuff for you guys. I don't know if you guys saw. Some girl put on Twitter her DM. And some guy DMs her and goes, "I'm gonna arm wrestle a bear for your number."
Oh, I did see that.
And then he goes, "I'd fight 09 Randy Orton for your number."
Oh,
09
yeah,
Randy
but-
Orton was the guy with the shaved head, kicking
Yeah.
everybody in the face. She got 41 million views on this.
Wasn't it the Legend Killer?
Yeah, it was a legend killer. And Randy Orton goes, bro, really willing to risk it all for you. He got
Randy
31
Orton's
million views on
hilarious.
this. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was a good one. Here's another one. Chris Jericho got into it with a little girl at one of the AEW at Collision, and this was the result.
Do that again, kid. I dare you.
Listen to what she says.
You don't even know what that means. Oh, yeah? I dare you to tell me I'll ground you. You want to get grounded, kid? I'll send it to your room. No, your mother.
Chris Jericho is still so good, dude.
Vic, you don't have to put it up yet.
No,
Dude,
don't worry.
That's
Chris Jericho is so good.
If Dan has a daughter, that's going to be Dan's daughter.
As terrible as this sounds, I would love to see Chris Jericho one more time in WWE.
Fitness, I do believe they put on the caption that was a little girl. Oh, so Jorge, that was Cena. There was a kid that was caught on camera saying, Cena, I love you. And he was wearing John Cena gear. And moments later, Cena goes, look at this kid right here. He's sitting there. He thinks I like him. I hate him. And he starts like shitting on the kid.
Dude, and the poor
the
bastard's just there frozen.
Yeah, you could tell the kid was like really like, oh crap. And he literally like became an overnight sensation, and now that kid's all over the place. Vic, I don't know if you saw AEW, but did you see this part with I was gonna say Dean Ambrose, John Moxley?
Oh, this was terrible. This was terrible.
Oh,
that was bad. That was bad.
Oh,
that to me is everything that they tell you wrestling should not be. You know what I mean?
Look, it's stuck to his back.
Yeah, that is bad, dude. Like that to me, honestly, is what they used to call ECW, if you remember, was just barbarism. It was what's it called? That's so fake, Compa.
I don't know why, but my mind went to Mick Foley. Like whenever during that era.
Yeah. Like, and to me, like that is not what wrestling is. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not some patsy, you know. I want to see sometimes some blood and some other stuff, but like that to me is just that's needless violence.
Well, hey, that wasn't fake. His like the meat off his back it's
just bad, dude. Like I saw that clip and I was like, really? Like I'm so like disappointed in AEW and what they've kind of become. I'm disappointed in Dean Ambrose, who at one time, or John Moxley, whatever the hell he wants to call himself. I was a big fan of that guy, of the Ambrose Asylum or whatever it was called. That to me is just so disappointing. Like that is because you're putting like you want to talk about people putting their bodies on the line. Like that is what wrestlers do week in and week out. And that to me is just unacceptable. Like that's putting your guys in a position to get hurt and fail. Like that's not
Dan, the narrative is coming out again about your quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Want to get another Scorpion in the Frog relationship with Aaron Rodgers, then they should quietly call the Chargers.
This guy's an idiot.
Jim Harbaugh, this guy who you said was the best quarterback you ever coached, the best quarterback in your draft, we'll give you him and our first round pick. And we'll take Justin Herbert from him. The contract is tradable. Kevin O'Connell would finally he clearly thinks, Darnold's not good enough, which I agree with him. You'd have it. Jim Harbaugh could really do the whole Michigan thing with a cheap quarterback, not have the obligation to run the ball or to pass the ball a ton.
Yeah, and let me ask you a question. If your quarterback is overrated and he's not that good, then why do people want him traded to the Vikings?
Exactly. That's why it's all a joke. No wonder Robert D kept bringing this up. I didn't know what it was. But it's just stupid. Like, you know what Jim would say if they probably called or Ortiz? They'd probably say, "Go F yourself, dude. We're not trading." And you think we're gonna trade him for JJ, who we don't know what he is, and a number one, and that's it? Like
3 number ones.
Oh, I heard him say 1. I didn't hear 3 number ones.
I think he said 3 number ones.
Oh, well, either way, I'm not doing it. I would do it for some weapons. Maybe I'll get a receiver to come with him.
Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'm not trading the son of Odin for anybody. What
Bill Belichick explaining to his in-laws about their day at the beach.
That's hilarious. But I wouldn't trade Justin Herbert for anybody. Like he's untradeable. Unless you're going to trade me half of your roster and all your draft picks, I'm not going to do it.
I was watching. I think it was like a Vikings podcast. It was a clip, and they were reading. I guess they got an email from like an anonymous source, right? And mind you, they're laughing through the whole thing. Like to them, this is a joke from somebody. But they were like, yeah, like I'm tied with the Vikings front office, and I've heard, I've been hearing this for a while now, blah blah blah. And like I said, they're laughing through it, and that they're really wanting to go and trade for Justin Herbert. Now, will it happen? I don't know. They said, but they're like, and then once they were done with reading the email, they were like, this is not going to happen. Like there is no way the Chargers are going to trade.
No.
Yeah, but
no, and then there's a lot of uncertainty with JJ with his knee.
Yeah,
that's exactly why I told Eric, bring the good doctor, to come over for a year.
By the way, we do have video of Bill Belichick meeting his in-laws.
Sonny, that's what I was trying to tell you before. I found someone.
This old guy, Sid.
He's already achieved so much, and yet he's still goal-oriented and still focused. He has a 5-year plan.
What is it? Don't die? I can't believe this shit. We got a family now.
Classic.
What is it? Don't die?
Classic.
Let's see. Anything else? Did you guys see what happened with Carlton Davis at his press conference with the Patriots?
Oh no.
Let's see.
Oh no is right. Hold on.
No applause in here? Nobody clap? No? How y'all doing?
He said nobody's going to applaud, nobody's going to clap. Really?
That's funny. That's kind of weird. They're media.
Did he think it was the Raiders?
Yeah, I know. Where's he coming from? Yeah, for real. That's weird. Applause. This isn't a runway, son.
What was it Chicago where they were clapping?
Yeah,
with Ben Johnson.
For Ben Johnson. Have you guys seen this clip? When they were on We're the Millers.
Yeah.
I love this one. Yeah.
Woo! How about a little victory music, shall we?
Please.
I love this song. Woo! Yes.
That's hilarious.
Love life DOA. I'll be there for you.
Hilarious.
That movie to me is really underrated.
Oh yeah, We're the Millers is hilarious. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah,
yeah.
With
Nick
Ted
Offerman.
Lasso. Yeah,
Nick Offerman is in that.
Yeah.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah. Oh, I love when he gets the conversion rate for the pesos confused to dollars. That was hilarious to me. Oh, that's like $100. Oh, sure. Here you go.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw. I don't mean to bring religion into this, but
no, Jorge, that wasn't in the movie. That was like a blooper.
The Vatican says the night passed quietly and Pope Francis is resting. In an update on the 88-year-old's talking about his health, somebody put this.
Was hit by a car.
What?
Oh yeah, it happened this morning in the parking lot. I took her to the hospital, and the doctors tried to save her life. They did the best that they could, and she is going to be okay.
Is wrong with you?
I love The Office, dude. It's the best.
The one of the best. What is it? The not a cold open, but one of the best scenes is when Stanley can't recognize anything, like he doesn't know, and then they just try different things.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like, all right.
They had like Andy in a dress, and they had all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah. They sat Phyllis in a different chair. Yeah.
Last one. I don't know if you guys know this one. You know that girl Bonnie Blue? She put she slept with over whatever.
Yeah.
But the Maury Show tweets out, "I'm sitting this one out." That was pretty funny.
Because she's
Jerry
pregnant now,
Springer.
right?
Jerry Springer,
No,
bring him back from the grave. And
Oh my god! You watched that documentary?
I did not.
Oh, it's crazy.
I forgot his show started in Cincinnati.
It's
I think somebody
crazy.
said, like, you know how the whole, I think Fernando shared it last week in terms of like what is there to do from Cincinnati, or what's the best thing to come out of Cincinnati, and someone brought up Jerry Springer.
Oh yeah.
The best. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious. All right. I think that is all we have today, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much to freaking Jorge. Thank you to everybody who jumped on and checked out the four compas. Dan and I will be back tomorrow at around 3:30. Around 4:30. With What's Up Bolts. We'll do about 30, 40 minutes talking about Mekhi Becton. Dan's going to break down some film. Andre James, Tony Jefferson coming back, and obviously a little bit more about Mike Williams and where Dan thinks that they should go next. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then next week we'll be back on Tuesday right around 3:30, same time. There was something else I needed to add to that. I'm still working out a guest. We will see who it is. Hopefully we have somebody lined up. I will start making some text and stuff to see who we can get on the show. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to pound the like button. Thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of Compas on the Beat. We didn't have a lot to talk about when we first started the show, and then all of a sudden, boom, Russell Wilson, and then boom, here comes that's an interesting one. Jorge, is that what you want? Jorge, if you tell me that's what you want, I can bring him on. If that's what you want,
yeah, especially
Adrian
with
Garcia
the baseball
Marquez.
season.
Oh yeah,
Adrian would be a good one. He would have a lot of fun. Jorge, is that what you want? You tell me. I'll make it come true. But yeah, maybe we do go that route. We haven't had Adrian on in a while. So I'll talk to him this weekend and I'll see if he's willing. Give me what I want. Batista. Oh wow, Jorge pulling out a WWE reference. We will I think, well, I'm not gonna name it now, but most likely Adrian Garcia Marquez will be the guest next week, as long as he's willing to jump on. Fitness. We can always
she won't come on. She won't come on.
We there was something interesting there that happened there, so I don't think that person will want to come on here. We already got a big fat no one. Oh no, we got ignored. At least the other person said no. This person ignored us. But whatever. We will be back next week, Tuesday at 3:30. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to pound the like button, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the notification button. Jorge, I'm telling you again, tomorrow 4:30. What's Up Bolts? Don't forget, Jorge, because I don't want you coming in late and being like, oh, and then Jorge, you missed a Thier. Thier was here at the beginning, so you missed that. So an F all around, Jorge. Jorge, by the way, I know. Well, I don't know if you're doing midterms yet, but good luck on your midterms, Jorge. Always got to shout that out. But again, thank you guys so much for Vic, for Dan, thank you to Eric Williams. Thank you to Jorge. Thank you to Fitness. Thank you to Jesse. Thank you to Fitness, already said. Tom, thank you to Robert M. Thank you to Dennis. Thank you to Robert D. Thank you to Dennis, already said. The random guy, thank you so much. Athir, thank you, Athir. And again, thank you to Jesse and everybody else who commented. You guys are the best. Again, we will be back tomorrow for What's Up Bolts, and then next Tuesday. You know what? I'm going to manifest it. Adrian Garcia Marquez will jump on and join the program. Well, you know what? We can talk to him about Team USA soccer.
Mm-hmm. Struggling.
It's almost here. There's no Gilberto.
Yeah.
So we can talk soccer. It's Dan's show, so we're just all
I thought we were going to do it on this show.
You know what? Hold on. I did forget something. I know he's not here right now, but we do want to send a special shout out to Gilberto. I think his birthday is tomorrow.
It's on Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wednesday, tomorrow, March 26th. So happy birthday to Gilberto. I know we're not gonna give him a gift because he got the greatest gift that he could have wanted about 2 months ago. So what can we get him that'll be better than that? So there you go. There's his gift. But
the gift is for us to continue to bless the people with content.
Exactly. That's what we're doing. Yeah. So shout out to Gilberto. Happy birthday, Gilbert. We love you. We miss you. Hopefully, one of these days you'll decide to not forget about Dan and make a special return and jump in and give Dan some shit. So Vic, if you want to go next, but happy birthday to Gilbert.
Yeah, happy birthday. I got to see him on Saturday for Alonso's birthday, so it was good to catch up. And he's gonna be back in a couple of weeks, so can't wait. But happy birthday. He's still on baby duty, but he should be back in a couple of weeks, and he'll be back, giving a shit. So that'll be good.
You know who sucks?
A
father who lays his hands on his own son.
Oh, he's talking about Gilbert there too. Jesus.
I love Dom. I'm a big Dominic Mysterio guy.
Maybe for Survivor Series.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Try and get him on.
That'd be awesome.
Damn! Breaking news: Damian Lillard has developed a deep vein thrombosis, which is a blood clot in his right calf.
What's his name has Wemby, but he has it in his shoulder.
A lot of that stuff. Jesus,
yeah, it's just
with
weird.
NBA players.
So don't forget, be a Compa, tell a Compa, and don't forget, John Cena's The Rock's bitch.
Wait, no, hold on. You didn't wish Gilberto a happy birthday?
Happy birthday, scumbag. Don't forget, be a Compa, tell a Compa,